Hi, Sacred Souls! Welcome to my channel, Sacred Intuition 111. And let's get into this weekly energy check-in with our ancestors. And I'm super excited because, I don't know, I feel like there is good energy here. Whew! I feel like it's a great way to manifest a new beginning. I feel a lot of divine feminine energy tapping into your intuition. And yeah, let's explore this. And we're gonna get, first of all, a card from the Shaman Oracle. And that is going to be our guiding message. Let's see if my intuitive... Ooh, there are many. No way. And it's the 23rd of November. And it's the present. But it's also the gift. Oh, that reminds me of Kung Fu Panda. Fun fact, I actually talked about this in my job interview and I got the job. Because someone asked me, why do I wake up every single day? And I cited Kung Fu Panda. And I was like, well, you know, the past is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. And today is called the present because it is a gift. And if I do not get up, I'll never know what could happen. So yeah, I'm grabbing the opportunity and yeah, anyway, so I have to think of this. And number 23, how aligns, because we have the 23rd of November, we have the child and we have the wind. Wow, okay. Which in itself is very unique because I think sevens in numerology talks about, is it spiritual alignment or is it a spiritual challenge? I'm not 100% sure right now, but what I'm getting specifically here right now, it is that your ancestors want you to be as lighthearted as the child and to be carried by the wind. And the wind, of course, it's air. So air energy, which is very mental. It's like, no pun intended. No, I'm a Gemini sun, so I'm allowed to say this. What I meant is it's about, air energy is very much about intellect. That's what I meant with mental. While fire is all about action and earth is all about the material, everything that you can touch, everything that you can plant. And cups, water, is about everything that we feel, our emotional body. So, and didn't I just say that it's about manifesting, like that I'm picking up the energy of manifesting? Yeah. Crazy. Okay. Yeah, and there is no better way to manifest than being anchored in the present. Because this way, you're not being held back by your past. You have learned from your past, but you're not your past. And you're not your future yet. Yet you have the potential to become your future self. And there's no need to worry about it right now. And instead, you're being asked to be carried by the wind into a light-hearted new beginning. The child in itself, also in the Lenormand, talks about a new beginning. And what I'm picking up is that you probably have been also very much in your mind. You probably have gone within. And now it's about this time of reflection that is now moving into a new chapter. That in itself I find very powerful. yeah, let's dive deeper into this. I wonder if I'm also going to grab already these cards, or am I going to clarify already with the Thought Tarot? I'm a bit undecided, but we will see in a second. But it seems like you are on a journey, and you're literally being asked to like listen to your heart's drum. Something, and also to have faith in where you're going. And because like with the child energy, it is also about being very trusting and not being how you say it, like overthinking. And I guess that is why I was talking about the air energy as well, because people with heavy air in their chart also tend to be overthinkers or overly analytical, which sometimes can be very good, but sometimes we also just simply have to act. And if we don't do this, then this is like rather difficult. Okay. So basically, like your ancestors want you to, with the present right now, right? By you being present, that is actually the gift in itself. It's probably also very much a gift, not only to yourself, but that you can give to the universe as well. And especially your ancestors that are guiding you, they are currently unable to be in the present, but they're in the present with you. And if you continue to be holding on to the past, for instance, you cannot create a change anymore, because what already happened is, it's not changeable anymore. The only thing that you can change is what you're doing right now, which then again changes your future. Yeah. Maybe it's also a good time to become very present at this moment and to kind of analyze, no, not analyze, and interesting. I'm so in this air energy. This is so, yeah. And it seems like your ancestors really want you to break out of it, to stop overthinking it and trusting your gut. But it's also about becoming like, and being grateful for what you have. So maybe just write it down, or even you don't have to write it down. Maybe just sit down for a quiet moment and just go within and just think about things, people that you're grateful for. Even people that might have already passed and what they might have taught you. Because that in itself is also like a very powerful energy, especially like by this is how you can use past energy in the present to be powerful. Okay. Anyways. Because like gratefulness opens your heart. That's why. And your ancestors want you to be connected to yourself as well. But yeah. Yeah. And oftentimes, what prevents us from being present is that we tend to maybe overcommit to things because we might feel like it would mean a lot to someone else, but maybe you feel like your energy level is not there. Then it is important that you can set like healthy boundaries. And sometimes healthy boundaries might feel like we are disappointing people, but the right people will always understand. Interesting where this is actually heading right now. But yeah, anywho's. Is there anything else? I'm really drawn to how this person is holding like this. It seems like the sun. And I'm hearing like to be to be proud of how far you've come already. Yeah. Is there anything else? No, but I'm really, really drawn how she holds that sun, or at least I assume it must be the sun, because otherwise, no idea what else it could be. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, no. Honestly, I feel like... Sorry for this pause, because I feel like there is something that still wants to come through. I need to sneeze. Oh gosh. Oh. Achoo! Sorry. Okay, that's terrible. Okay, maybe something needed to be released. And now with the wind, now I'm hearing scorpions, wind of change. Oh my god. Hey, did you sneeze again? Oh my god, it tickles my nose. Sorry about this. Oh, I'm glad I could suppress it. Well, maybe you were suppressing some kind of release, because technically a sneeze shouldn't be suppressed, because like it builds pressure. And okay, this is so odd that I now feel guided to talk about this, but I guess now I got the intuitive input from my ancestors. Because the wind of change, right? The changes in the air. And maybe before, you were holding on to something and tried to suppress it. And that was preventing the change to take place. And this is why your ancestors want you to be as light as a feather, to go with the wind of change, right? Like changes in the air. And the child, like I said, it's a new beginning. Now, how beautiful is that? And on Thursday, we just had the new moon in Scorpio. And the new moon in Scorpio is a very deep energy, especially because the new moon is about manifestation as well. It's about manifesting in what you desire in your life. So whatever you thought about, whatever energy you are in, this is most likely what you're going to attract. So I do feel that we are going to clarify first with the Thought Tarot. Tell us a little bit about the wind. Seriously, I'm hearing Wind of Change by the Scorpions. Now that flip back around, I want to see it. It's luxury. It's the Four of Cups. Yeah. I'm going to take it, even though it flipped back around, because we're going to get the clarification. Yeah. Three of discs, Three of Pentacles. I see, yeah, the two, you cannot make this up. It seems like you might have held on to like a stalemate situation as you waited for someone or something to come back around and to be offered to you to make something work. And what I'm also getting is whatever caused disappointment, like a missed opportunity, that is now being changed. It's like this impasse situation, it is being transitioned. But for this, you'll have to let the wind do its magic, okay? I don't know how else to put it. Oh my goodness, now my nose is starting to run. And one of my favorite readers, she always says, oh my God, we're dealing with a runner. Makes sense. Oh my goodness, let me grab a tissue. wowzers. Maybe, but this is it. Because you know what? So either this is you, and normally the ancestor messages are very you focused. But if this is also about someone you're dealing with, maybe you're dealing with a runner, but maybe you've been running also from something, right? Because you try to suppress something. Maybe you try to resist the wind of change. Because maybe you try to hold on to a stalemate situation, to like a missed opportunity, because you were hoping that something would come around that would change it and that would lead to working together, like a working out. So, and that needs to be left in the past. So the wind, madre mia, it's really bugging me now with my nose. Madre mia, okay. Yeah, the Ten of Pentacles, it could be about like your stability. And again, the Page of Cups. You cannot make this up. Okay, let's see. How about the present? The present, the gift. It's the Three of Cups. I'm telling you, you are going to be rewarded. And now I see the High Priestess and I see the Page of, or is it the Knight of Wands? And I see the Five of Wands, which obviously is like, oh, and the Seven of Swords. I'm very quiet right now because it seems like there's an underlying message here. Because at first I felt like that something is coming towards you that is still hidden from you. And normally the Three of Cups in other tarot decks would mean like reconciliation, celebration energy. But what I'm getting more is that your ancestors are talking about how you have become very abundant. And that is what your present is. And that is also what you're meant to be gifted. This abundance. What I didn't like is that I see the Seven of Swords, that I saw the Seven of Swords, and the Five of Wands. And it says strive, and it says futility. Now that bugs me, because it seems like as if something is futile that is happening. Oh, wait, no way. Oh my goodness. My ancestors literally just smacked me over the head. Oh my God, this conflict. The conflict that was going on, or the conflict that you're feeling in the outside world, the kind of competition, that is actually futile. It's a lie. Because what you do not see coming towards you is the abundance. That is the gift that the ancestors are actually preparing for you. Oh my goodness, now it's making sense. Because I was like, what? That's just like doesn't match with the abundance energy. No, and this is only, oh my goodness, oh, this makes so much sense. This is so only coming in as the gift to you as you give into this wind of change, as you're like letting go of this impasse situation, of this conflict, of this Seven of Swords, whatever kept you stuck, whatever, sorry for the blah, 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 God, probably very confusing with all my hands, but I'm very about gestures and facial expressions as well. I'm hearing you cannot see clearly, or you didn't see clearly, because of so much conflict that was going around. But that conflict was actually kind of, it was futile. It was futile. It was actually non-important. It was like artificially created. Like there was no need for it, I guess. Okay, let's see. Now I'm really interested as to what is this new beginning, this child energy? Because now I'm intrigued. Let's see. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Oh. What? Sorrow. The Three of Swords. Okay. That is not matching what I'm feeling. Okay, I see the Sun and the Lovers. Okay, now it makes more sense. Ace of Wands. Okay, got it. Yeah, Power, Four of Pentacles, Hierophant. I'm gonna tell you. Because the child, it's the new beginning after some kind of heartbreak, right? Because, well, how do I put this? Like this? Let's put it like this. This way you can still, hope you can read it. First of all, having like a new beginning and moving towards it, it's always something about a choice, okay? No, I want to do it like this. Sorry. That is just odd otherwise. So let's put it like this. Because sometimes I'm a bit iffy as to, I'm not quite sure what cards are allowed to be seen and what cards are not allowed to be seen. Anyway, I hope you can still hear me fine. Yeah. It's by literally making that choice that you're moving into happiness and leaving the sorrow behind. Because you're moving with the number 7, which relates also to the Chariot, right? You're moving out of it. You're moving away. You're not moving into the sorrow. No. And it could also mean that there is a certain, it could be for some of you that there is a relationship dynamic that is finding balance with like a new beginning. But this new beginning is only able to come in, whether it's in love or in career, wherever you want to apply it. This is only able to come in as you're letting go of this heartache, this missed opportunity, this stalemate situation where nothing was moving. It was neither moving left nor right. So you were stuck. You were like pinned down in a place which prevented you to be as light as a feather, okay? It restricted you from changing direction because you were, how do you say this? You were held into a place which restricted your growth. Okay, let's see. Whoa. What is happening? Now I'm like, excusez-moi. What is the Sacred Destiny Oracle? What do your ancestors want you to know? Yeah, look. I'm also seeing diligence. Let's put this here. Inner peace and wisdom. What I'm getting here, and it's very interesting because it's very emotional energy, because both very connected to the water, right? Yet wisdom, I would always kind of also connect to the air, like to the to thinking. But it's not only, it's like being in the flow and finding your inner peace with what you've learned, okay? What you've learned from the past. That's what I'm getting. But honestly, I am going to read on this. Oh, okay. Inner peace is the lily pond. And it literally says, simply sitting next to a lily pond, watching the dragonflies soar overhead, and dragonflies is definitely air energy, and looking at the luminous lily pads floating gently on the water, while their translucent flowers open the petals to the heavens, can fill one with a sense of profound and everlasting peace. Lilies grow in many countries and have been given a wide range of meanings. However, one enduring image of the lily is the notion that out of the darkness and mud arises a thing of immense beauty and grace. And this is what you're doing. Like, you gain the wisdom from all the challenges that you went through, and you pull yourself out of it with grace. And this is why you're being rewarded with this abundance, with this new beginning of happiness. Okay? No matter how much darkness there has been in your life, you can rise into enlightenment and profound tranquility. Now, that's it, because I can guarantee you one thing, if this message reaches you, is that that the stalemate situation that you've been in, whether you were undecided whether you would find another job, right? Or maybe you had an issue with your apartment or your house, like maybe you had to move house, but technically you wanted to stay. And yet you knew it wasn't the healthiest choice for you. And you're kind of being trapped, right? It never has to always be about love, even though love obviously is also a major topic and theme, because we are social. Like, humans are meant to have social connections. Some only require maybe one or two. And then there are some who need more social interactions, okay? And none of it is right or wrong. It's just different, and that's okay. Why am I being guided to say this? That was, okay, that was a spirit guide speaking through me, because that was so random. Why the fluff? Okay, anyway. What the? Okay, that's why. I was like, what? You completely lost me there. Yeah. Yeah, like, because also with a love, yes, of course, it could have been a love connection that kept you in a stalemate situation where you felt like you couldn't move from it, like you lost your lightheartedness. But it's like about finding this peace within yourself in order to be able to move away from it. Okay? Inner peace is your birthright. Tranquility occurs when you realize that your life is unfolding according to divine planning. And this is what the wind energy is again. Let yourself be carried with the wind of change. Do not resist it. Oh my goodness, now that makes sense. Before I start recording this, I rewatched, well, not rewatched, it was suggested to me, to watch this video of a woman who is being pushed into a raging river. And only as she accepted, and I mean, whether it's a woman or a man, doesn't matter, only once the person accepted to go with the flow and to not resist and not to struggle, even though it was a raging river, like, honestly, swear to God, do not want to be dropped in it. The person survived, and it was easier to just be carried down that river and the flow And this is exactly what your ancestors also are talking about finding this inner peace within you and accepting the flow of your life. The flow of your life will never be exactly the same as someone else's life. Maybe it's completely different. You will meet people where the flow of your lives are maybe similar, but it's never going to be exactly the same because each of our journeys are individual journeys and they're meant to be individual journeys. And there are parts where you share it with someone else, and then there are parts that you are going on your own. And any change that you're making, it comes from within yourself because a change that is being pressured onto you will never last. Same with other people. Like if you try that someone, because you see the potential and you want them to change, because like out of like in a positive manner, you would wish for them to change, not because you're being selfish or anything, but just you're coming from a loving space. But if that person is not ready to go with that wind of change, you cannot make that person change because that person has their own unique journey to go on. And that is also completely fine. I'm really, like, honestly, I'm definitely going to have to look up the lyrics to Wind of Change from Scorpions because, and it's a really, really slow song as well. And I know isn't it also one of the songs that is really long? I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. Serenity isn't something you have to work for or search for. It already exists within you. And it's about trusting that. It's about the knowing, yeah? It's about the knowing within yourself that the inner peace is your birthright. Okay, anyway, the wisdom. I open it up right to the right card. Okay, the depth of the sea. And what I have to think of is the depth of your own emotional world, right? So, the surface of the sea can be choppy and turbulent, yeah, like your everyday life. But when we sink down into the depth, our surroundings are completely different. That you're reaching when you're resisting the change and you're going with the flow, you become present in the moment. And in that moment, you're fully in your own energy. And then from that moment, you can create. From this moment, you can manifest. This is your most powerful state of being. Anyway, let's continue. Often there is a stillness below. In other cases, the surface, it's about quieting your mind. Sorry. Sorry. Like I cannot continue to just read because when I get downloads, I have to say it. And it's about quieting your mind and to feel. Because also manifestations, visualizations only work if you can feel them. Because it doesn't matter whatever you say, if your energy is not in alignment with it, the universe is not going to understand what you want. And the likelihood that you're attracting actually quite the opposite, because that is the energetic frequency that you're in, like lack or fear, which no judgment, but it just explains why sometimes things don't come into fruition or go way slower because it's just not. There are just obstacles in the way that need to be moved. And often there are mental blockages that are in the way. That is also probably the toughest thing about meditation. Really quieting your mind. And I have to raise my hand. I know I'm terrible at it. And this is why I think I'm going to start a challenge for myself. Maybe you want to join in. Maybe then... I have some people who hold me accountable to really start by being quiet just with yourself for 5 minutes. No outside distractions, nothing. Put your phone far away from you, sit down on the floor, and just go within and just see what might actually come to you. You can decide when you want to do it. You don't have to choose to do it, but I am actually thinking about doing this just to become also a clearer channel and a clearer vessel, because a vessel that is empty can be filled. But if that vessel is being filled with gunk, well, where do you put the good stuff in? You know? You know what I mean? Anyway, it's about quieting the mind. Do not let your mind keep you stuck. That's what I'm hearing. So, so that is so German of me to say this. So, that is the most German short expression that you could hear. This is how you identify a German. Even if they speak a language like perfectly, if they can help themselves 100%. So, anyway, I almost said it again. In other cases, the surface of the sea might be placid, yet down in the liquid blue are a myriad of creatures and a variety of seaweeds. A vast community of creatures is eating, mating, giving birth, and dying. What we see on the sea's surface has very little to do with what is occurring below. Ah, gosh. And now we're coming back to also the energy that I saw with the Five of Wands, the Strife, and the Seven of Swords. The Futility card, which then again, the Seven of Swords normally is deceit, and Five of Wands is like competition, external conflict. It seems like what has been reflected or has been shown on the outside did not reflect what was actually going on below the surface. And it's so much easier that our mind just runs away on a rampant. And us being lost in those thoughts, that we're forgetting to actually realign with our intuition. And this is why your ancestors want you to really refocus back and find this calmness within yourself in order to be able to identify, okay, what is truly going on? What is it that I feel? What is it that I see on the surface? How can I connect the two of them? Or what needs to fall away? What is not serving? And by doing that, you're freeing yourself from this energy and you're moving into this abundance energy. The Five of Wands, the Seven of Swords is falling away because whatever was going on in the surface, whether this is struggles that you had in your workplace or your career in general, or in your friendships, in your family dynamics, in love, it prevented you to actually go into that energy that is actually already reserved for you. Because you have done the work already. No matter where you are at, you deserve all this. And all these struggles, all this mental chatter that made you suppress. Or maybe you feel like, okay, this seems like it's actually giving me insight in the person that I'm connected to. Well, then take it as it is. To be fair, take it how it resonates. No one dictates you how to apply it. But be mindful, be always true to yourself. Do not force something to fit if it doesn't, okay? Then just simply let it go. Let it go and let it flow. But this is what also kept you before in this state of sorrow. But this is now being swept away into this new beginning. You are protected, okay? Okay. Anyway. Things are not as they seem. You cannot make this up. Look beneath the surface in your life. For example, you might feel that you aren't making progress on a particular project. Yet beneath the surface, things are happening. Maybe something didn't move along as fast as you anticipated. But that doesn't mean it's not moving, okay? In a love connection, you might not see the results yet. You might not see movement yet. But it's working. Trust in the divine process of things, the divine timing, the divine alignment. Okay. And maybe consider yourself lucky that maybe things didn't come into fruition yet, because maybe you wouldn't have been able to hold it. Maybe because your vessel was still filled with gunk. Maybe the other person that you were looking to connect with, whether for a business partnership, for a friendship, for a love connection, for a family dynamic, whatever it might be, maybe their vessel was still filled with gunk. You don't want this. You want this pure energy. You want this pure energy exchange. You want this vessel to be filled with something that's nourishing and nurturing. And I'm hearing nectar, but it's probably because I already said 2 N words. And so. Or you might be going through a stormy cycle. Now, the wind. Oh. The seed that you plant. Wait, no. What is that saying? With like the seed and that's planted the storm. Oh gosh. I can't think of the saying. What a shame. But it's beautiful. Anyway. Or you might be going through a stormy cycle. This card is letting you know that even though the surface of your life might be a bit rocky or wobbly, in a deeper place, all is well. And serenity, you cannot make this up, because these cards are so interconnected, and no, they're not next to one another. Like on this table, yes, but not in the booklet. Sorry. And serenity and peace are emerging. It talked about the serenity, about the inner peace. Things that may seem challenging, 5 of Wands, will later be revealed to have been beneficial. What you perceived as a conflict, as a threat, as a problem, was actually there to your own protection. It caused, basically, I don't know why I have this morbid feeling, but it's as if, how do I demonstrate this? Look, you are going through a tunnel, okay? Well, that's a bit weird, but yeah. Anyway, you're going through a tunnel and you can squeeze through here, and then you're here, and all of a sudden, like from the old pyramids, like a big massive ball is like rolling down, and it would have squished you. And that obstacle that made it really hard for you to squeeze through, it actually stops this to squish you. And you would think, that was such a pain in my neck, because it made it so difficult to reach that point, to go beyond it. Yeah, but what you didn't see is that thingy that saved your life. Okay, I hope this made sense. I don't know. That's a very, very weird image that I got. Okay, I'm kind of intrigued about the diligence as well, because how this is tying in. I'm seeing a community and going forward. Forgiveness and focus and flow. Yeah, embracing. So, yeah. Oh my God, that is so German. What is going on? Fallow field. Traditionally, fields were left fallow, unformed for extended periods of time to allow the soil to recover and rebalance the nutrients. I'm done and dusted. Can you make this up? Can you make this up? I don't think I ever pulled this card. No way. Okay, I'm out. You cannot make this up. I literally just did this You were being protected. It was for extended periods of time. It was fallow, unformed. You felt like it wasn't taking root. Something wasn't moving. Something felt like a missed opportunity. You were watering it. You tried to make it work. Whether it is a project, whether it is a connection, whatever it is. You resisted the wind of change because you were you didn't want to let this field be fallow, but it was necessary. You cannot make this up. And I was talking about the freaking vessel. For extended periods of time to allow the soil to recover. You, this is you. The soil is you. You are, oh my God. And I talked about how I felt like the ending of cycles and manifesting. It's about the manifestations. You've got to be kidding me out. It is balancing out. This is happening in the present. You've got to be kidding me. To recover and rebalance it, nutrients. I talked about the vessel. Sorry, I'm so freaking, I love when I'm tapped in. And if this is not recording, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry so hard. Like, it better be a recording. Because I said it was to the vessel to be nourishing what you put in. To be, what was it? Nurturing and nourishing. That's what I said, right? What was the other N thingy that I wanted to then say? I have no bloody idea anymore. Anyway, it's okay. No way. It gets even better. So that you know that I don't make this up. Allow the soil to recover and rebalance its nutrients, to break disease and pest cycles, and to provide a haven for wildlife. The way how this was suppressed, oh my goodness. Yeah, so my runny nose and my suppressed sneeze literally talked about what happened here and what your ancestors want you to move out of. Oh my flippin' Lord. To get rid of what kept you being sick. What kept you in an imbalance. It wasn't only an impasse, it was an imbalance in your energy, in your alignment, and not because you did something terribly wrong, but your focus, your mental chatter kept you, or your expectations that come from your mind. Expectations come from your mind, okay? Oh my goodness. And that is what basically you tried to harvest on a field that needed to be left in fallow. Well, can you say be left in fallow? Well, anyway, to be a fallow field so that it could replenish itself. Maybe you were doubting, like, what if this is never coming in for me? Well, your soul, your whole inner balance had to be restored. Maybe this is also talking about the person that you're connected to, especially if you are part of a sacred soul connection. You guys are mirroring each other. So you might have different things that you were working on, but technically it is still aligning to the same thing, the same message, which basically says that you had to replenish yourself. You had to find your own serenity within yourself, your own inner peace. You had to gain the wisdom from what you experience here to replenish and to re-nourish. And from this, you create the abundance. What you perceived as conflict and obstacle was freaking protection. Now, because wonders were taking place in the time of your solitude. Can you make this up? Because now I kicked that ball. Yeah, get out of the way. So, for this, no way. Guys, can we continue? The opportunity that you thought you missed, it's coming back around in form of abundance. The gateway is opening up for this journey. And all you were required was to show flexibility. All it required was you to be still instead of having an overactive mind. Oh my goodness. In the stillness lies the power. And I was talking about being light as a feather. And this is tying in with our last ancestor message. Finding and serving simplicity in your own life. Purification, yeah. To forgive and to have patience. To go with the flow. Like, honestly, can you make this? Yeah, love, going forward. This is coming. Yeah, this all had to happen. Okay, this had to happen this way. Everything was meant to happen exactly as it did. As it did. In the stillness is the power. The power is in the stillness. All you had to show was the flexibility. You had to purify yourself to find the simple, to have the simplicity restored in your life, okay? This solitude prepared you for your blessings to come in. I mean, this opportunity is opening up. That gateway is open now. It is. It is the choice that you're making with this child energy. The chariot moving forward. You're going forward. What's underneath it? Embracing. Embracing what? The change. Guys. Do you know how many freaking cards are in this deck? And for this to speak a whole freaking story that I literally just talked about. This is all coming together. If you honestly believe that this is something that I just make up, you just witnessed how this all came about. This is not fake. That is intuitive. This is how intuitive readers work. Because we are being confirmed as we go along with the reading, as we go with the flow, as we surrender, as we are being a channel for the ancestor, for the spirit guides, for your love connection. And I'm so, honestly, I am, right now, you know what? I'm taking the time. I'm thanking every single person that is going to watch this video, whether you watch it as I post it or whenever you're going to come across it in the future. I'm so grateful for you being here. And honestly, I'm so happy for you because if you're coming across this, it's not about you, oh, I need to claim it, blah, 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 blah. I mean, if you want to comment it, awesome, because you help to spread this message. But I'm not forcing you to do this. Like, only do it if you feel so connected to it that you want to embrace it, that you want to show it to some degree. For me, it's an energetic exchange. Like, to smash the like button, gosh, honestly, I am grateful. I'm grateful for what I'm creating on this channel. I might not have found my perfect flow yet. I used to believe that I did. And then 2025 happened. We're still in 2025. And for me, it is indeed a 9-year. Like, yes, it is a 9-year anyway for all of us, technically. But you can calculate whether it is what kind of numerology year it is for you, because you take the sum of your birth date and then the sum of the year. So, for instance, you are born on the 5th of May, then it's 1 plus 5, 6, and then 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5. So you have 9 plus 6, so it is 15. So for you, it would be a year 6. Okay? And then you would have to look up for yourself what it means to you. And it's also the Lovers. So it could have been that it's a choice year for you. Like, you will have to have or it is all about love. It could be either or. For me, it's a 9-year. So, can you imagine? I wasn't so thrilled about it because I was ready for my manifestations to come in. And to some degree, they did. But not in the way how I expected them to be. Anyway, I'm actually going to be starting podcasts. They're not going to be massively long. Maybe 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 15. I don't know. Maybe 20. But where I will be talking about different topics. And I just would love to open up like this discourse. This is actually exactly like this used to be my original idea how I wanted to do this channel. I love tarot readings. I will continue to do them, but I'm gonna do these podcasts also like as an addition. Anyway, so going back to this, for me it's a 9-year. So I actually noticed that for the first half, I really struggled putting videos out because I felt that I really had to focus within myself, like to go into hermit mode. And I was like so confused because I was like, why is this happening? I was being forced to go within. And now I'm coming out of that. I literally feel how it's being lifted. And now I really love doing these videos again. Like I really feel connected and whatever. I only put things out where I feel connected to, but maybe like 1 or 2 videos where like I'm like, yeah, I don't know. But it's so funny because it seems like everyone also picks up on that kind of energy anyway. So yeah, you cannot fake it. When it comes to energy, you cannot fake it. Anyway, the voyage, the journey, right? And the gateway, the opportunity, like the gateway is opening up to this opportunity. The opportunity that you thought that you lost. You never lost it. It was just put on pause. And it was redirected. You know what? This is exactly what was meant for you. You were being protected. With a diligence, like honestly, once again, traditionally, fields were left fallow, unformed for extended periods of time to allow the soil to recover and rebalance its nutrients, to break disease and pest cycles, and to provide a haven for wildlife. I'm telling you, you broke karmic cycles. And if you are in a sacred soul connection, how I call them, which is the summary of everything, whether it's a higher level soulmate, a twin flame, a divine counterpart, whether it's a karmic soulmate, whatever it might be, right? A soulmate, whatever label you want to put on it, I do not care. But it's someone with who you have a divine connection, like a sacred soul bond. So, it's also talking about how this person that you're connected to is also breaking this cycle. And maybe this extended period of stillness was required for this field to become fertile again, to be replenished with nutrients, so that not only it could nourish you for the future, but also to nurture what is being built on it. Because you do not want a faulty tower that could crumble at any second. What you're building is a foundation. Okay, letting fields lie fallow meant that the subsequent crops were much healthier and more vibrant. And that's exactly what is happening with your energy. And now I remember again why I love these Ancestor Message, because they go deep. And they tell you exactly what you need to focus on. It explains you why certain things happened and what you make out of it, what is to come. Okay, engaging in this time-honored process takes patience. Wait, didn't we have patience? Where was the patience? And diligence, but the results are worth the wait. They are, because the wonders, the abundance is coming. The blessings of your time of solitude. There are times in life to step forward and take risks, but there are other times to be patient, step carefully and slowly, and know that the benefits you will gain in the future will be worth it. Be attentive, meticulous, and persistent. Use this time to plan for action steps in the future. Be diligent and consistent at each step as you move forward. By doing so, you will harvest remarkable results in the years ahead. This is not the time for instant gratification. Your diligence will pay off in the future tenfold. This is a time for deliberate organization. Clean house, clear clutter out of your life. Remember my vessel filled with all the gunk? It is time to get rid of it, to clean it, and to replenish it. And whether this is talking about your own body, your actual physical vessel that you're incarnated in, or whether this is the environment that you're in. Maybe both. Okay? So, or maybe it's just your mind. Be thoughtful about how you spend your time and be discerning when choosing with whom you spend it. And I talked about, oh my God, I cannot believe this. Like how you might have been overcommitted to maybe set up dates with someone, like to meet up and go out and whatever. But what you're being guided to is to really set healthy boundaries and to know, okay, does it serve me? Is it good for my energy? Or even though I appreciate the person, maybe I'm not ready. And clearly and honestly communicated. Just yesterday, I told a friend of mine, she asked me if she wanted to go out. The last months, I have not been very engaging. We did hang out like before, just 2 weeks ago. But then I felt, no, I didn't feel the energy. And I was like, no, I'm out. And she was completely fine with it. Because at least as long as you communicate, that's a healthy boundary. And you're saying, well, it's not about you, but I just don't feel it. And that's okay. Okay. Clear out relationships. Yeah. Oh my God, that makes me think of Renaissance Tarot. I love him. Because he says, relationships. I love it. So the credits go to Aman from Renaissance Tarot. If you don't know him, you gotta check him out. He is brilliant. Clear out relationships that do not support you, and especially the relationships. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it right here. I'm sending you all the best, honestly, and can't wait for you to return to this channel. And yeah, every Sunday there's going to be an Ancestor Message waiting for you. And until then, take care. Bye-bye. Oh gosh, I'm too small. Because the way... Okay, if you're still here, at least you know a little bit of my kind of personality. I'm telling you, it's a mess. Kudos and take care. Bye-bye.